Hello friends, welcome back to the Bootstrap tutorial. Now today we will be creating a carousel section that is called slider. So we have done last time with the navbar and this was our output. We have created a navbar with certain gap giving a padding to the top bottom left right, and we have also seen how will it looks on the mobile device. Now to create the navbar again, to create the carousel section, we need to go to the official website and under the component section, search for the carousel, this one, and it will give you the theoretical description and some examples. Like look at this, the very basic one is there is a slider section, you can move it manually. If you scroll down, you will get the different uh, samples. Like this is a slider with the indicators. If you click on these icons or you can click on these indicators, you will get the change in the slides. Again with the caption, if you want you can take it, and if you want to fade, initially it was a slider and now here you can see the effect is fade, it is fading your item. So as per your requirement you can change it, and even if you want to add the interval in between, so with the help of database interval in the milliseconds you can apply the auto transition between the different slides. So basically we'll go with the very basic slider, that is without indicator, this one. So I'll just copy this entire code and I need to create my section where I want to put this. So I have just copied this entire code. I'll come to my code. After the navbar, I want to create my slider section. So I'll write and comment. This is the start of my carousel and this will be the end of my carousel. And in between this comment, I'll paste the entire code and you can see your output, how will it looks. Okay, it is giving you something but you are not able to recognize because there is no item between that carousel. So if you just try to understand the code, now it is looking like this because I have installed one plugin, prettier. Search for this prettier plugin, just install that plugin. It will auto format your code. Once you save your code, automatically it will change the indentation of your code, so you do not need to worry about it. Now here you can see there is a image item but the image is not present, and in the very first video uh, I have taken some images in the project directory under the images folder, and you can see I have a slider folder and inside that I have gathered 4 images. Now I want to use these 4 images into my project. So how we can do that? Instead of just source, you need to put your images, those are present in the required directory. So paste your path that images are present in images folder, then in the slider folder, and the image name is image1. Same in, you can add another images slider image2. Here I want to add third images slider third image, and again I'll take one more item, so I'll copy this last division and change your third image to the fourth one and check your output how will it looks. You will see that I got the images but the image height is too large. If I change the slider, you are getting your slider perfectly but the image height is too large. I just want to fit my image from exactly bottom of my nav bar to the end of my screen, so I need to adjust the height. And in the future I want a text on this image, so instead of using image as a component I want to use image as a background. So what I can do now, this is just a customization of the slider. I don't want to use any image as a component. I'll just remove it. I don't want any image as a component, so I'm removing all the images. I want to use image as a background. So how to do that? It is very simple. Now you can see the carousel items don't have any item for showing into the slider, but for each item I want to create my own background. So what I can do, I can write my own class. I'll name that class as suppose background 1, bg1. This is user defined class which I am creating it bg2, then bg, sorry, inside the double quotes bg3, and here I'll create another class bg4. So we need to customize these background classes. So go to your style.css here, and this is the end of your css of navbar. So just put it in comment. This is the navbar, start of navbar, and here again write an comment of end of navbar. So it will be easy for us to identify what css are we have written for the which content. Now here again start of carousel, and this will be the end of carousel. Okay, so in between we'll write the properties. So the user defined classes is bg1, and here you need to write your own properties. So the property which you want to write, the very first properties, you need to include the image. So you will write a background image. So instead of background image, I'll use a background, then URL, and in the double quotes mention the path of the image, that is images slash slider and the first slider. Then the few important properties generally we use for the background image, that is background position, it should be center, background size should be cover, and background repeat should be no repeat, and the same properties has to be repeat for all the background sections with the change of image. So this is my bg2 with the image 2, then again third one background 3 with image 3, and the background 4 with the background image 4. Save it, just come to your output and check. Still you are not getting it. Why? Because you have not provided the height to that image, or if any other problem we'll see it. Okay, the images are not visible because the height is not provided to the image. So in each background section you can add the height. So for example, you want to calculate the height of 80% of vertical height, so the calculate function you can use, or you can give it manually. So same height I want for all the images, background images, so I'll put it the same height in every section and check. Now you can see the 80% of your screen size is given to each slider, and when you click on the item you can see the each item is sliding successfully, and now that image is as a background image. Okay, now the next thing is I want to check it on the mobile view as well. So when you change your screen size, you will see that it is automatically keeping the center part of your screen as the center of that device, and it is still working smoothly. So it is perfectly fine, created my slider, but I want to add some text on this background image. So I want a linear gradient on it. So if you don't know how to use the linear gradient, I recommend you to just go to my channel and check the previous videos related to the CSS. Now we want to create a linear gradient on each image. So along with this background image, before that you want to create a linear gradient, and color code which you want to use is the same as that of the color which you have taken as a theme color. So I'll just paste that color as my first color, and that is also my second color, but it should be transparent. So change the function to RGBA, RGBA, and the transparency should be, for example, I want a 0 0.5. It is always lie in between 0 to 1, so make it 0 0.5. Save it, just come back, and you can see there is a gradient, a blue gradient on every on the my first image. So we want the same gradient on every image. So just copy this linear gradient code and paste it before all the URL sections, so that the linear gradient will be added on every image. You can see now it is showing some gradient on the image, so the gradient is transparent and your image is little bit uh, uh, covered by the gradient which you have given. Now, why we have done that? Because we want to add some text on the images. So again, that will be a custom part. So while choosing the carousel type, you can see there is a section called uh, with caption. So what you can do, you just copy this the carousel caption section and you can use it, but by default it will appear at the bottom of your slider. I don't want to show my output as a text as a bottom of my slider. So I want to give it at a particular location. So what you can do, you can customize it. Now I'll tell you how to customize it. So come to your HTML code and each slider item, this is my first slider item, inside the division, create another division tag and write one custom class. It's your content which you want to show. So I'll name it as my caption and inside this my caption you can create your custom text, like for example I want a heading of um, h3 and I'll give a title as welcome and one small paragraph with some random text like lorem 30, so 30 characters which I have taken, and I'll just go back and we'll check how will it looks on my first slider. You can see the text is there but which is not readable. I want to make it visible on my slider. Okay, so write the custom property for that. Copy the class name, come here and use that class dot my caption and write your own property. The very first property you need is color, which should be white. So apply the white color and check. Okay, now it is looking good, but I want to change its position. So always remember, whenever you want to change the position within the slider, the position should be absolute, and whenever you are using absolute, its parent should be relative. So in all the slider section you have to add one position parameter that is relative. In each slider background we have added position as a relative, and then where you want to set it. But before that I'll change the width of that caption. Let's say I want to take a width of um, 30 or 40 percentage. We'll check it. Now it is taking the 40%. Okay, to make it visible I'll use a solid color background color as red. Okay, now you can easily recognize how will it look. Okay, but I don't want to do I don't want to show this at the left top corner. I want to make it at the center. So you need to add the parameters like left 50%, then top should be 50%, and transform translate minus 50%, comma minus 50%. I have explained this in my previous videos of CSS. You can check on my channel. Position and check your output. Now it is looking at the center of your screen. Okay, fine. So this is the perfect position for me. Now I want to customize it. We'll remove this red color, but for the better visibility I have used the red color. Okay, so you can see the next property which I can use is padding of 50 pixels from all the round. Okay, now it is absolutely fine. I want this welcome to the at center location. So the text that is h3 I want to the center location. So what you can do, dot my caption space h3 is a children, and I want the text alignment of that as a center. And you can see now only that text is at center. If you want to change the font size, instead of h3 you can use a normal h1 and you can check the output. Okay, it is absolutely fine, but it is not at the center. So you can change in the CSS, it is h1, it should be at center. Okay, it is looking okay now, and the position is also okay. And now you can remove the background color red and check how will it looks. Okay, it is looking okay. And if you want to add some more decoration, like I just want to increase the font size to 50 pixels. You can check it is looking okay now. And for the this paragraph you can customize it again. So in the my caption paragraph, and you can add few more properties like font weight should be 100. You can see it will be a thinner than the previous one, and it is too thinner. Okay, 300 is okay. And you can add the text alignment also center. Okay, and below that here you want to give one button that is read more. So here you want to add that button after the paragraph, so you can use a anchor tag, will redirect somewhere, and you will write just read more, and this link should be at the center of your screen. So again, the parent is carousel caption. Here you can write the text item, sorry, text alignment as center. Check. Okay, but you want to customize this button, so write your own class. This will be a read more underscore slider. This is from slider, and just write your custom properties dot read more underscore slider, and the first thing you want as a text decoration none, so automatically that underline will be removed. Okay, then the font color should be white, so it will be visible. You can check. Okay, and you want a border, suppose white 1 pixel, solid and white border. Check it. Okay, now it is looking slimmer. You need to add the padding from all the rounds, so add padding, suppose top down 10 pixels and left right 20 pixel. And okay, the button is okay now. And on the hover you can see it is looking different, so you want to add the hover effect to the same button, that is read more slider colon hover, and you want to change the property that the background color should be a complete white, and the text color should be a theme color which we have chosen, this one, this color which we have given to the font, so that color is used to the font when you put your mouse on that. So reload it and check. Now it is looking okay. Now we want a little bit gap from the top, so how can you add that? You, if you try to add margin top of suppose 20 pixels, it will not work, because you need to add one more property, that is display inline block to the read more button, and then you can see the gap is working fine. Now you want to repeat the same content or the different content in the different section, so you just need to go back to your HTML code, and this is the my caption section. You just copy it and paste it in every carousel item, and if you have to customize it, you can customize it with the help of the new text. And now if you reload your output, you can see you have the navbar and the slider with the text on it with read more button. Okay, now if you check out the ratio, that you can see when you put your mouse that this gap is little bit high, so I want to reduce that gap, so that is for the navbar, and that we have added in the HTML code if you remember. So it's a padding 3 from all the round, so I don't want any padding. I just save it and check. Now the navbar is little bit okay, and the images also. Now you can increase the height of image in the background. So we have taken 80% of the screen side. Here you can change it to the 90% of vertical height to 90% and check your output. Okay, it is looking absolutely fine now. But we have not tested it for the mobile view. Just try to change it to the mobile view. Okay, but now the caption which you have taken is not working fine. Why? Because you have taken the width of 40% and it is taking the 40% of your screen and the font size are still same. So you need to change the different properties, like the initial width of your carousel caption is 40%, but it should be changed on the mobile view. So here you need to write some media queries. So how to write the media query? All we know that. So here you need to put @media screen and @media only screen, and in the round brackets you have to write max hyphen width colon, and you have to choose your breakpoint where you want to change your size. So I'll pick 720 pixels. So whenever you come to the 720 pixels, you can change the property of this carousel caption. So copy the class name, write the new properties, that width which I have taken initially 40%, I want to make it as 80% of that device size. Just save it, come to your page, reload your screen and check your output. Something is wrong. So it is not showing it because something is wrong. Media only screen and maximum width 720. Oh, okay, it should be pixel. Save it and check your output. Now it is looking okay. This is your desktop view. When your screen size will be 720 pixel and smaller than that, the width for this section, the caption section, is 80%. Now it is taking the 80% of your width. So this is how you can manage the width on the different screen size as well. Now we're done with the nav bar. It is looking okay. And the slider section on the mobile view and the desktop view as well. So we'll see the next section in the next video.